I am Chylli from channel Chylli, also known as Try, and we are back for more Dredge, continuing where we left off time. We were mainly running around just doing all the pursuits we have here. We still need to find one more tablet, so I'm going to be trying to do that right away this time. Going to need to buy an explosive if we want to get in there. Oops, wrong side. We need to go to the other side here. The trader takes the stone tablet from you and places it alongside the others. He turns them over and arranges them together in a square. On the underside of the tablets, new glyphs begin to form, casting a near-you light onto the low ceiling. Yes, go on. He begins transcribing the glyphs onto an old scrap of parchment. Each stroke appears to demand excruciating concentration. After a few minutes, he puts down his pen and reads aloud. When the sky mistakes the stars and the air grows thick with night, the deep will opens its scars. Protect us, O guiding light. I only know one guiding light, but these tablets predate the lighthouse at Greater Marrow by centuries. The fragments are fused together now. Why don't you take them back? In theory, they should open a lock somewhere, but where? An intriguing mystery. Do let me know if you make any progress. Going to wait until morning before we go back again. The fused tablet clicks into place and the door rumbles before sliding aside. You step through the doorway of the ancient lighthouse. The stairway to the top has collapsed. This is as far as you're going to get. Around you are a number of dusty objects. Some of them look valuable. Alright, I think we are going to finish the Iron Rig DLC now. And there we go, that was all the fish we needed now. With shocking speed, he rushes toward the table, grabbing at the corpses. The sheaf that bursts of the blackboard barely resembles a scientist, no longer meek and cowed, now a frightening visage of stretched skin and sharp teeth. With a sickening crunch, he bites down into the sea scorpion carcass, black liquid dripping from his mouth. His terrible head snaps up to lock eyes with yours, a feral cry rising from his lungs, forming an accusatory scream with freshly born claws pointed in your direction. With limbs overcome by frantic spasms, he stumbles toward the nearest window, slowly at first, then arriving at considerable speed. The aberrated form of the scientist crashes through the glass, diving out beyond the deck of the platform, down, hitting the water, then disappearing into the deep. You remove the old module and insert a new one. As it clicks into place, the sound of the tower changes into a deep rumble. With the last scraps of metal still falling from the destroyed drill tower, the executive boards his helicopter, rotors already spinning. Is everyone alright? All accounted for in the factory. Yep, foundry's fine. I guess we'll wait for our airlifts out of here. There's no way I'm traveling anywhere by boat. Yeah, I'll sit tight for now. Fishermen, the main buildings are mostly undamaged. So if you still need stuff made, we can sort you out. I'm looking for sunken relics. Are there any shipwrecks around here? Relics, you say? Perhaps one such as this? He pulls out an antique pocket watch from inside his robe. Droplets of sea spray crackle and seethe in the air around it. You're drawn to it too, I see. It found me during my rite of proving as I scavenged for creatures of power. It sapped up my spirit when I first recovered it, but I came to appreciate its strange nourishment with time. As will you. When the ritual is prepared, it will be yours to carry forth. The flames are lit. I can feel it. The chill in the deep touches us now. It is time. Come. You follow him up the steps to the temple. At the top is a black stone altar. That high upon the altar are layers of dark, damp wood. He draws the antique pocket watch from his robe. It sways hypnotically in the breeze. It is almost yours. May it mark the start onto your journey, and the end. Still holding the pocket watch in one hand, he clambers atop the pyre and raises his scroll. He begins to chant. You are rooted to the spot. The wind picks up, swirling sea spray around the altar. A cold blue flame arises from the sodden wood at his feet. The freezing blaze climbs his legs. His chanting continues, no pain detectable in his voice. He lifts his arm skyward. A second later, the inferno engulfs him. It rages for a moment, then abruptly dies away. A cold mist pools around the floor of the temple briefly before the wind sweeps it into the sea. No trace of the fanatic remains. The pyre is cold and damp. You take the pocket watch. It's freezing cold. It vibrates in your palm. Clock hands spinning wildly before the cracked face, or below the cracked face. Alrighty, now I think we're ready for the Pale Reach DLC. We are going to finish the base game as a way to wrap up the series and the finale. I see a building over here, so that is where we're going to go first. Geez, sorry, I had to sneeze and it completely threw me off there. Down here to investigate the ice field too. It seems to have appeared out of nowhere. My best guess is that it drifted up from the south. Either way, I thought I should set up a pontoon here, but when I want to stake my claim, I noticed some old equipment on the ice. Come and check it out when you get a second. In the meantime, I got some new rods for sale. They'll be perfect for fishing in the ice around here. The traveling merchant has crossed over to the nearby iceberg and is inspecting some old pieces of metal. You approach. It's so weird, this stuff seems old, like really old. She kicks a large sheet of metal half embedded in the ice. A thin layer of snow dislodges, revealing lines of rivet holes. And come in here, look. You follow her into a small makeshift shelter ruined by years of harsh weather. Inside are some schematics nailed to a table, still barely legible. See how they angled these sheets in the lining of the metal around the bow? Whoever was here, I think they were constructing an icebreaker. Could you make another one using these plans? Probably, but let me see. He trudges outside again and paces into the length of metal scraps on the ice. We got most of the basic materials here already, but of course are missing the most crucial pieces. An icebreaker needs specially tempered angled metal as well as components designed to minimize the impact to your hull. I can't see any of those here, but whoever left all this stuff here, maybe they left other pieces elsewhere. Or maybe you'll be able to find their old ship and salvage the icebreaker they already built. That would be convenient. Anyway, to build a new icebreaker, these are the parts I'll need. Alright, so we need an icebreaker to be able to get through those ice drifts over there. Fisherman, I didn't expect to see you this far south. Well, this is a fortunate turn of events. There's a narwhal somewhere in the ice field. I couldn't get any further in, so I've been trying to take a picture from here with no luck. I tried placing some scraps of fish on the ice sheet over there to entice it, but I don't have enough to hold its attention for long enough. I only caught a glimpse. I don't suppose you'll have any fish here prepared to donate to the pursuit of wildlife photography. Fill the space entirely with any fish you'd like. I can't imagine the narwhal is too picky. That's perfect. Now cut your engines. We need to wait in complete silence. I think I hear something under the ice. What on earth was that thing? I'm not sticking around to find out. A cold wind whistles through the doorway of the only cabin still standing. Behind it, a frozen-over dig site is littered with tools and debris. Light pierces through the ice, intensifying and concentrating into a glow in the center. A dark form takes shape against the light. A distorted voice echoes from within. Don't disturb the ice. A crudely drawn map of the area has been charted onto a scrap of paper. You attach it to your own map. A large book sits on the table. It's well worn from the passage of time, but you can still read the words Captain's Log etched onto the cover. You open the book, its frozen spine crackling for the first time in decades. You dock against a small platform of ice formed around a gigantic clawed hand. You're not the first to find this place. Remnants of a long-abandoned camp litter the ice. Help me, frozen so many years, free me. Please break the ice. Okay, we need something like an ice pick to be able to do that. Give me a moment here. Another makeshift camp constructed in the shadow of a frozen clawed hand. Someone was seeking these out. Trapped forever, this prison, get me out. Break it somehow, free me. Okay, so that's how the camera works. Interesting. I have an idea. What if we go around the outside? Oh, never mind. We only needed those 3 pieces. I thought it was 4. Alright, I think that should do it. The front of your ship can now break through chunks of ice. Go ahead and test it out. I'll be watching from here. I forgot to mention, just let me know if you want to temporarily remove that icebreaker. I can swap it out at any of my pontoons. I've been looking through the schematics we found before, and there are plans here for another device too. They're for an ice shaper. That's different from your icebreaker, by the way. It's for cutting chunks of ice. If you find the missing device, I'll be able to use the machine to harvest ice blocks for refrigeration. The blocks of ice can be packed into your cargo to slow fish spoilage. Pretty handy, right? You strike hard against the center of the shard where the shadowy shape appears darkest. A deep crack chases upward, cleaving away fragments that fall and shatter. The structure peels open, split to its core, a glistening stone cradled by broken shapes, wispy threads of starlight trailing from it. I want to go around the outside to see if there's anything hidden around here. To approach a hooded figure, they seem to be frozen on the spot, pale robes frosted over with heavy rime. Fishermen, the ice. You hear their jaw snap shut again from the cold. The ice takes form. The hooded figure withdraws a scroll from their robes and unfurls it to reveal a drawing of an aberrated ice fish. The boatswain gone, feared boy, the skies. We remain, the consequences inherited. Captain, the expedition, charted the ice field, appeared suddenly through the ice. It whispered, promised stones from the stars. It knew 3 would hear the heart beneath the ice. It commanded 3 listeners, 3 sacrifices for 3 eyes. I obeyed, but a 4th now sees, forever, futile. The shadow is silent for a time. Slumbering still, should leave, it sees you before it whispers. Don't risk breaking, it senses through the ice, through the shadows, no hope. Let's try to find ourselves an aberrated ice fish so we can turn that in. The hooded figure places the fish on the ice at their feet, kicking loose snow over to cover it. The stars leave the sky. Another scroll, another twisted shape. Images of aberrated sea stars cover the paper. You really found it. How on earth do you actually locate that stuff down there in the deep? Anyway, let me slot this blade in here, and yeah, that seems right. I think it's ready to start cutting. Blocks of ice coming right up. This works pretty well. Here, these are on the house. From now on, I'll be able to stock some of these ice blocks at my pontoons. Thanks, partner. Alright, and then we are going to wait and see if we get any aberrated sea stars. We are going to have to repair them if we don't catch anything tonight. We should get one relatively soon. I keep getting aberrated king crabs instead of aberrated starfish, which is really annoying. Alrighty, well, I am going to leave it here for today's video. If you made it this far, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time when we play more Dredge. We will be finishing fairly soon. So yeah, until then, bye!